What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Wookie Whispers. This is episode 10, and we have none other than Mr. Diamondfigs himself. How are you today?
I'm good, man. That intro made me feel like I was at a hockey game.
That's it. That's what we're trying to do.
I love it.
Star Wars is, it's full contact sport, so
I
it is
love
a
it.
full context sport. We've got the prequels, we've got the OT, we've got the sequels, and everybody's just battling it out
Oh my
for
gosh.
their trilogy. It's full contact, man. This is basically hockey undercover. Nobody knew.
If Twitter was like the YouTube boxing that they do, but just for Star Wars Twitter, dude, people would be tuning in all the time. Gosh, how do I start that? I can be the Dana White of Star Wars Twitter boxing.
Dude, let's
shave my head.
Do you remember back in the day on MTV, they used to do the claymation fights of the celebrity
deathmatch, dude. Come on.
Star Wars style. Oh, that'd be wild.
That would be wild. Also, like, to get people who are like active on Twitter to fight each other probably wouldn't be good for the fandom. We're all about peace and love here, guys.
My goodness. So tell everybody what you got going on. So you've got Dark Side Secrets, you've got both of your channels, which is Instagram and YouTube. Like, I mean, you're crushing it on so many different platforms. Like, tell everybody who is not following you where they can find you and kind of what you got going on, because it's a lot.
Oh, okay.
It's like, where do I begin?
I usually don't think about it that often. It's usually just like in the back of your head. So on Instagram, I'm at Diamondfigs. On YouTube, I'm at Diamondfigs. Twitter, at Diamondfigs. And then every Wednesday, we do a live show. So tomorrow night, Tony and I, Star Wars Sith. People in here probably know who that is.
For sure.
Yeah, he's my bearded friend who has the worst takes in Star Wars. If you ever ask, he's got awful takes in Star Wars. That's so when he listens to this back, he'll be like, right off the back, we're 3 minutes into this, and I'm already talking crap. Yeah, Tony and I do Dark Side Secrets. He started that, and then I was on like 7 months ago for an episode, and then the next week I was on, and then the week after that I was on, and now I never left. So every Wednesday we do that around 5:00. And then I also just started this series where I talk to a Star Wars creator and we break down their favorite scene, which has been super fun. So I just dropped an episode today with Grayson from Mortis FM. Yeah, he's a really good dude. And he's super intelligent and has great insight when it comes to Star Wars stuff. And so the goal is with the show is to bring somebody on and look, it's not to sound preachy and Qui-Gon Jinn-y, but like a lot of times when people talk about Star Wars, they're talking about stuff that is like, oh, this is the worst decision they've ever made. Like, oh, Star Wars, like, what are we going to do? Star Wars is dead. Like,
right.
So the idea with the show is to bring somebody on and have them talk about either their favorite scene or like what Grayson did was we talked about Kanan and Jarrus for like a little over an hour.
Wow.
But it was via like the scene of his death. So it was cool to break that down with him. The episode we did right before that was with Connor from Beyond the Dune Sea. And him and I have the same favorite scene, which was good that it started off that way of Luke throwing his lightsaber in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
This lightsaber. So yeah, no, they're great. And another thing, every once in a while, so like once a month, the guys from Mortis FM, Tony, and then the guys from Beyond the Dune Sea, we do this like Star Wars book club kind of deal called Tales of the Archive.
Yeah.
And we just did, what the heck is that book called? I have it right here. Dark Disciple. So right there. Sorry.
Oh, with Asajj?
With Asajj. So we read that right before, finished that before Bad Batch started. Like maybe it was the second week, whatever. And then before that, we did Plagueis. So next up, I don't know if they talked about what's next up yet. So I don't want to be the one to leak that. But we're doing another one. Yeah.
Stay tuned. That's crazy, man. So I guess my follow-up question to that is, do you sleep?
No, dude. So outside of Star Wars stuff, I also my very good friend Troy, comedian, stand-up guy, very
He's
good dude.
hilarious, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you saw him. We saw him the same weekend. You
Yeah.
were there.
Yeah.
He's the best dude, and he started a podcast called Secret Identity.
Yep. I follow.
That I produce, and you follow it?
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all nerd stuff. So just released an episode last night or early this morning of him and his co-host Brent, who I love very much. And they're both debating whether or not Batman should kill based on the whole Zack Snyder thing that he said in Batman versus Superman. And I know this is a Star Wars channel, but this side of my room is all Star Wars, and then you see the other side of my office, and it's all stuff like this, where it's all comic book stuff. So,
well, when I saw you at MegaCon, you were like running to, I think, get something Batman signed, weren't you?
Yeah, the guy who wrote he wrote a ton of stuff, but he wrote Batman: The Long Halloween, which is like my favorite Batman story of all time.
It's legit,
dude. It's one of, if not the best Batman story. Like if people don't know anything about Batman and they were like, "Hey, what's a good place to start with comics?" If you gave them that, it's like Batman, it's like Godfather level good, but Batman. It's so
interesting.
Good. It's the best of all time.
Huh.
Yeah. And he wrote that, so just a old white dude with another nerdy white dude who was like, "Oh, can you please?" I was like, comic book guy from The Simpsons.
So is this a comic that they still sell, or is it like I'm going to pay an arm and a leg to find it?
Oh no, they reissue stuff all the time, and they release it as like a graphic novel every once in a while.
Yep.
I think I have it. Hold on.
Let's see this.
I was attacked by Dr. Octopus. Right here, dude. Long Halloween, Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale. Dope. This is the hardcover version.
Fire, there it is.
Happy Halloween, dude.
Signature.
Yeah, so I didn't even know he was going to be there, and this is not Star Wars talk, so this is...
No, it's okay.
Sorry for everybody who's watching. I didn't know he was going to be there, and Tony and I were walking around figuring out where I was going to mess with people as Thrawny, and
I was trying to find you.
Dude, we were all over the place. And it was also hard to use my phone because I had these blue gloves on. Right. So, like, I couldn't open my phone. And then people kept coming up like, "Oh, who are you supposed to be?" And I had to, like, be in character because Tony had the camera on. Oh. So I was probably way more mean to people than I should have been. But it's also like an outlet where, like, it's like once the blue paint goes on, it's like a different person. But, yeah, MegaCon was my first con in a long time. I'm going to Spookalla this weekend. So,
where's that at?
Ocala.
Which makes sense. It's in the name.
Yep, Spookalla. It's in Orlando. Where is it? It's in Orlando. It's in Memphis.
It's in Memphis.
Yeah, Sam Witwer's going to be there, so I'm finally going to get to meet the GOAT, which I'm super stoked about.
That's going to be dope. Is he doing any panels?
I don't think he's doing any panels, but he's doing signings. And I'm not... Look, I know you like to do it, and I know Tony likes to do it, and I know a lot of other people in our circle and Star Wars fans like to do it. I'm not the biggest fan of paying for photo ops.
Oh, right.
Not the biggest fan. Just because it's a whole chunk of change to just go, "Hi, bye," and then leave, and then, like, you got the photo, which is cool.
I get it. No, I get it. But I totally get it.
I like the walking up to the table and be like, "Hey, can you sign this for me? Thanks so much. Where are you from?" Like the interaction with that.
Right.
But I had to pay for it for Sam Witwer. Like, that was no joke. I'm getting that photo with Sam Witwer. He's like, obviously outside of Maul and Starkiller and Palpatine and him being like one of the largest creative voices for Star Wars behind the scenes, for like just being this mental encyclopedia of Star Wars knowledge.
Dude, they need to put him on staff.
He kind of is. I'm pretty sure he did like oversee some stuff. Like when they're creating stuff, they ask Sam Witwer questions where they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, do you want to look at this?" He hangs out at Lucasfilm, at least from what I've got collected from his interviews. He hangs out there and like he's involved with stuff, and they ask questions, and all of his friends still work at Lucasfilm. Like he's really good friends with David S. Collins, the guy who does the sound design on Bad Batch right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also the guy who did the sound on Republic Commando and like a ton of other stuff. And he's actually the guy who did the voice of Proxy and Force Unleashed and all of that stuff.
Really?
So like he's one of the guys who got Sam Witwer the job initially as
Wow. Okay. That's dope.
as that stuff. So he's still friends with him, and David S. Collins still works in Star Wars. So I mean, like and whenever they need like background stormtroopers and stuff, like I think he's been the voice of a stormtrooper in all 3 of the sequels. I think almost in every production that's come out in the Disney era, he has done a voice on at some point.
Wow.
I think, because I can think of like, I know he did a stormtrooper in Force Awakens. I know he did in The Last Jedi. I know he did in Rise of Skywalker, I'm pretty sure. I think he did in Kenobi, because that was one where he like did a bunch of interviews and was talking like, oh, I wish I could have been more of a fan for it rather than somebody who helped with it.
Right.
And enjoyed it like that. But yeah, Sam Witwer's he's that guy.
I love it when he does the voice too, and it's like when he does it live, like in an interview or like on stage, and it sounds identical to what it sounds like when they like recorded it in the studio. I was like, there's no editing there. That is literally just him straight up, which is crazy. That
a lot of
scream,
dude, like the Kenobi stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like he's and the way he carries himself, like within the Star Wars fandom, and when he's asked about Star Wars, the way he is honest but also reverent to this thing that we all love so much. It's really cool. It's he's somebody who I look up to, not only as like obviously as Maul and Starkiller and all of these wonderful things that he's helped create, but like also as just like looking up at how to interact as a fan of something you love. It's super cool. He's seriously, and I'm gonna meet him this weekend, so who knows for a split second, but he's a like a really good dude. Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I'll definitely will. Are you kidding me? He's the first guy I've ever like wanted to pay for a photo with. So
it's legit. That's legit. Now, how about if it was Mark Hamill?
Yeah, I love Mark. I love Mark, but also like meeting Mark now versus meeting Mark in like 1980 or like 1990.
It's different.
It's a different thing, and he's like sitting in a stool, and
right.
He's like, he's old now, and like I love Mark, but like that kind of makes me sad to like go see him like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like he's killing it right now.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
He just did that big signing and everything, and there are thousands of people there just to see him. So he's killing it, but like it just kind of bums me out to like go take a picture with him, and he's like feet away from a wheelchair or like a walker or something, and I'm like,
but do it now before he's gone.
That's true. Yeah, that's my biggest regret, is not being able to meet Carrie before she passed. Is like, it like my list is like Carrie, Sam, and like Carrie's obviously passed. Force be with her, but like, Sam's right there.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. I always wanted a photo with Carl Weathers, not because of Star Wars, but because I'm from Philadelphia, and just like the whole Rocky thing with Apollo Creed and everything else
you're
he does.
Philly guy. I forgot.
Yeah, I know, us Philly people. That would have been
Giants
dope.
hat in the living room. That's sucks. Man, I should have wore it. I forgot.
So
turn this into a New York Big Blue stream, baby.
I'm about to say started this into a Northeast showdown. That's crazy. Yeah. Man. So you're from New York?
No, I'm from Florida. I lived in Jersey for a while. My whole family's from Jersey, so we're the ugly New Yorkers from New Jersey. So what are you gonna do?
Honestly, I like Jersey better than New York.
Whoa, hot take from Gianni.
Yeah, no,
It's because
so
it's basically you get to South Jersey, that's basically just Philly, so that's why you like it.
it's Philly, you know.
Yeah.
I still get my cheesesteaks, I
Eh,
get my pretzels, I get my tasty cakes. You know, it's Wawa Central. I'm
hey,
living.
somebody take me down to the way. I need a cup of water.
You know, and then I'm only a couple minutes away from the Schuylkill. I'm chilling, dude.
Oh
I'm like,
my gosh. Somebody started a tally for how many Northeast references Gianni just pulled out.
oh my god, craziness, craziness. So I gotta know. So your name, obviously, Diamondfigs, right?
Yep.
Now, most people don't know, but I have I believe I know. Figs, Legos.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, where's he going with this?
How did that happen?
So I originally started making content as a Lego focused creator.
And
Like
then you transitioned into Star Wars?
all this stuff behind me is that's
Lego?
that's most of the original Lego sets from the 1999 wave, and then right after that from like the classic Lego Star Wars stuff.
Are those the figurines, like the actual figs?
Yeah, all those, dude. I have like
Damn.
2,000 figs like over there.
No.
Yeah, I mean, look, to me, part of what made me love Star Wars so much is like obviously I loved Star Wars, but then like when the Lego stuff started coming out,
Yeah.
I was what 1999. I was 3, so there's like not a lot of time where Lego Star Wars wasn't a thing.
Right.
While I was a Star Wars fan, like, dude, the amount, like, there are still times I was talking to one of my buddies about this. There's times where I'll be watching stuff in like Empire, Return of the Jedi, and it'll be like scenes and it'll be like super heady, and I'm trying to break it down and like think about what's going on and the writing behind it. But I'm also thinking about like the cutscenes from Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga at the same time, and I'm like, it's just never gonna go away. So yeah, I started originally making Lego content like a year and a half ago now, and then slowly it was hard for me to differentiate the two, so I started making videos where like it would be Star Wars, like kind of the videos that I started making now, where it was like Star Wars facts and reels and stuff, but it would be like via the figures that I had.
Okay.
So like, oh, there's new news about the Mando movie or something like that, and it would be like incorporate the Mando figure into that somehow. And then I was like, I think I should just do Star Wars stuff. And then the Celebration, not last year, but the year before, right?
Anaheim?
No, what was last year?
London.
That's the one where I like started like I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do Star Wars stuff. And I took it for a weekend for Celebration, and a lot of that stuff popped off, and I was like, I should just do this.
This sounds nice.
Yeah, I was like, man, I really like talking about Star Wars and just Star Wars. Like I can still talk about Lego, but like the box of Lego is smaller than the box of Star Wars.
For sure.
The box of Lego fits into the box of Star Wars. So it was kind of like I can still talk about one while talking about the other, but vice versa. It wasn't really working. So like 4 months into me doing that, I switched to like mainly Star Wars focused stuff, and yeah, it's kind of been like that ever since. So and I've just never gotten around to changing the name. So
no, I mean it's dope. Everybody knows Diamondfigs. Like it just, I don't know. It flows.
It's just like kind of a bummer when people ask, they're like, "What's the figs for?" And I'm like, so it's like, whatever.
Damn it.
At least Diamond, I could be like, "That's my last name," and they go, "What about figs?" I'm like, "Fuck."
I'm a big fan of the Fig Newtons.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, dude. Or like, I could at least be like, there were times where I thought I was like, should I do like toy reviews and be like, that's what I can do with figs. At least it fits in.
Figurines.
Like, I have so much crap. But I'm like, I could just do other stuff with it. Of like, I'm constantly buying action figures, and my wife's mad at me. But at least I was like, you know what, whatever. So now it's more Star Wars stuff. It's more Star Wars centered. There was a time I was doing a lot of clips of that kind of stuff. And I kind of started to move away from that because I was kind of known as the clip guy for a little bit, at least for people who knew who I was.
Right.
They'd be like, oh, that's the guy who posted that clip. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but the more that I go on, I want to start like putting my input on why I like the clip more than anything else. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we'll see. I'm trying this new thing with the interviews of the scene breakdowns, and I've really enjoyed the last two that I've done. So
Yeah,
hoping
I
that
mean, that's
works.
everything, dude. Like you as long as you're enjoying it, like that's what's going to keep you fueled and that's what's going to keep you going like long term because if you
Yeah.
start doing things that you're, you know, it's hard because as a creator we are chasing, I don't want to say clout, but we're chasing views and we're chasing to be like successful because obviously we do this because we love it, but at the same time like we don't want like 2 views on something. Like we're like
Oh
okay,
yeah,
we,
the
we want it
worst
to be
is when you
well.
put like a ton of effort, dude. We put out this clip like 2 weeks ago, and
Mhm.
or maybe it was from last week from Dark Side Secrets, and it was like a theory about Boba Fett. And dude, I clipped that up, and I was like so stoked for it. And
Yeah.
like everything that could have been brought up. I had like the clip for on the bottom, and the captions were right. It took me like an hour and a half to like fit everything to the exact way I want it because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that video stuff. And then
Yeah.
was stoked about collabing with Tony and Mortis FM. We posted it, and flopped, dude. And I
Dude.
was like, ugh. But then like
Mhm.
something where like uh speaking of the Lego stuff, like I used to do this thing. I did it 3 times where it was like using the figures to like stupidly explain Star Wars.
Yeah.
And those videos have like millions of views. And I'm like, that took me 3 minutes just in my living room. Like the hour long thing that like actually has thought into it.
Yep.
Uh Whatever.
Well, that's my problem too, like with just content creation in general is like let's say when I do a product review and it's let's say it's a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Okay, that might be a 15-minute review in terms of like the YouTube video, but the recording took me like 3 plus hours getting the angles and the lighting and the this and the that, writing the script, like not in terms of a script, what I say verbatim, but like all the facts of the lightsaber, doing the research, doing all the things, and then the editing. You know, it's a multi-day project. It's hours. And then the thumbnail, and then this and that. Probably in one video, I've probably got just under like 8 to 10 hours, depending on like how I did that specific video. It's a long time. And then it gets like 300 views. I'm like, this is insane. And then I go and post a short that took me, 15 minutes and it gets like 100,000 views. I'm like, this is why, and it's just that tug of war and that battle. So I don't really post a lot of shorts anymore just because of the fact of I just feel like it's microwaved content. So I used to pump them out. Now I might just do like, a few a week comparatively. So I don't know. Now I've just kind of leaned on, you know what? I'm just going to lean on the creator side of myself and like let my creativity flow and just have fun. And hopefully the people that ride with me and it just works out in the long run. If I continue to chase the numbers and chase, oh, I'm just going to do shorts because this is what's going to get views and get my channel seen, then I feel like there's not a authenticity. That word always crushes me. It's not very authentic, you know
Gianni,
what
the
I mean?
Northeast is coming out.
The Northeast is coming out. So
Authenticity.
uh, I just want to be authentic to me. And I'm really passionate about making videos look as cinematic as possible,
Yeah.
with the lighting and all of that. And that's just like the creative in me, where I feel like I just can't do that with shorts. So I don't know. It's a battle because on the inside too, like I want to grow. So
Yeah.
then so I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what the balance is and what is okay with my spirit.
Yeah. No, that's
you know,
dude. It's all about balance, baby.
that's it.
Qui-Gon Jinn, my favorite quote. Your focus determines your reality. So
That's it. That's
love
it.
it.
So that's where we're at. So with that being said, so you started doing, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, you started doing the Lego content creation and all that, and that slowly transformed. But when was it when Star Wars for you became real? Like when was that moment that you were introduced to it and then it just kind of like blew up from there?
I've actually got the thing, which is very cool.
Okay.
So down there,
Mm-hmm.
you can probably see it. So I have 2 boxes of the VHS special edition for the original trilogy. The bottom one
Wow.
is obviously it was what 1995 that thing was released 1996 1997 whatever it was.
Wow.
That box set, for some reason my grandparents had it at their house. I don't know if they like it was the 90s, so they probably saw it on a commercial and they were like, call now and you will get Star Wars VHS tape. Buy now. You've never seen Star Wars like this. They probably bought that, and somehow, luck of the stars, my ADD having ass when I was a kid, they were like, the adults are talking, go upstairs and have fun. I'd go upstairs and figured out how to work the VHS player, and that's what I would watch, is just Star Wars over and over and over again. That was the one thing that I always watched over there. Occasionally some other stuff, but like Star Wars was the one thing I would always go back and forth for. So that's where I went, and that's actually the real box from my grandmother's house. Like
Really?
when I was in middle school, we were over there, and I saw it. She was like, "Do you want to just keep it?" She was like, "I'm not doing anything with it." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So I've got it over there. I did an unboxing for it like 8 or 9 months ago, and it's got all the original VHS tapes in it. It's got a film reel of a negative from A New Hope,
Really?
and it's like got Chewbacca. It's when they're standing in Mos Eisley right before they go to the Millennium Falcon, to the
Dude.
docking bay. So it's got a bunch of cool stuff. It's got like this heavy like 3-pound plaque in it that says like Star Wars Special Edition, Original Trilogy on it. So
What?
yeah, in the height of Star Wars. So that's how I fell in love with it. And then after that, it was just all Star Wars all the time. I mean, from there it was Lego Star Wars, and then the Gendy stuff started coming out on Cartoon Network, and I was always getting Star Wars action figures. I mean, like, and at that time the prequels were coming out, so I was a prequels kid of like
Oh,
I was
yeah.
in second grade when episode 3 came out.
Damn.
Yeah. My mom didn't let me go see it because she said it was PG-13. It was too violent. She's like, "You're not 13," and I was like, "You don't understand." So I never saw. I still have not seen any of the prequels in theaters. So excited for May 4th for those to pop back in. But
Are you going to California for May 4th like everybody else? I'm not going. No.
no, I'll be in New York that weekend.
Really?
Yeah,
For
so,
work?
Yeah, I got work stuff.
Yeah.
So
That
I'll be in
sucks.
New York for that. But it's fun work stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, it's fun stuff. I'm
We'll take
helping
it.
out Troy with some stuff for his
Oh,
work.
hell
So
yeah.
it's work, but it's fun stuff. It's not like
Yeah. You're
gotta do
hanging.
a bunch of paperwork and stuff. So
No, you're
Yeah.
hanging. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's not some bull crap.
yeah.
It's craziness. So, this is a question I've actually been asking a bunch of people the past few episodes. And it's cool because I get to see different like perspectives on it. And basically the question is what do you see as the biggest misconception people have about Star Wars?
Oh, the fans suck, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I think people who are outside of Star Wars, if you're aware of the community, a lot of times people are like, diehard Star Wars fans suck.
Mm-hmm.
And I firmly believe that, look, no Star Wars fan sucks because they like Star Wars. It's just how they present themselves for it. It's like,
Right.
you loving Star Wars is fantastic. It's just the way that you go about showing off that you love Star Wars, and like you talk about gatekeeping, and like
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about the Twitter boxing earlier. I would assume that's probably the thing that, like, it's not necessarily a misconception. I don't think Star Wars fans suck. I think Star Wars fans are awesome. Like when I'm at the grocery store, look, I was at Trader Joe's yesterday, and there was a dude who had a Palpatine on this forearm and a Yoda on this forearm, and he had Maul on his elbow. And
What?
I was talking to him about it, and like just in line, just talking about Star Wars. Oh yeah, you excited for the Acolyte? Yeah, dude, it looks good. yeah, I got this done like 2 years ago, just talking about tattoos and Star Wars, and talked about me seeing Sam Witwer this weekend. He's like, yeah, Maul's my favorite character, blah, blah, blah. Funny enough, the guy who did this tattoo is the guy who did his Maul tattoo on his arm. And I was
That's
like, I think I've
dope.
seen that before. He was like, yeah, my buddy Chris. Shout out to Chris. He actually painted that thing up there.
I've seen it, dude. That thing is epic.
Dude, he's the best. I love Chris. Hey, Chris, I love you. He'll probably listen to this later.
Nice.
But yeah, so Star Wars fans,
Chris, I need more tattoos, bro.
dude, he's the best. Webworks Tattoo. Go see Chris, Naples, Florida. But Star Wars fans are like simultaneously the best people you will ever meet. And then sometimes just the loud people who are the commenters are like, eh. And also too, like, I don't think that everybody who comments something stupid about their opinion about Star Wars is also a bad person.
Right. No.
Do I block a lot of people for dumb opinions? Yeah, dude, I love the block button. But like, yeah, dude, I'll just be hitting it. But like, just because they say something stupid on the internet, like, are they an awful person? No, dude. You probably see these people in person. They're like, hey, man, I actually love you. Like the amount of people who comment on my stuff, dumb comments, and then like I go and look at their profile and they're following me. I'm like, all right. Like, it's not like they just came here to say, like, they're following me. They're actively
engaged
one way or another, engaged with what I do. And if you don't agree with me, or if you're talking crap about something that I posted, like, you still follow me. So whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And if I see him in person, dude, it's all love. I don't care. It's wizards in space, dude. It's wizards in space that can move stuff with their mind, and they're robots with
and
swords
laser
made
swords
of light that are different colored. They're fighting with flashlights. Like, and I love this stuff. My whole room is built up. I got it tattooed on my body in multiple places. But like, we gotta realize what we're talking about at the end of the day. I love this stuff. It's my all-time favorite thing. But like, what are we really talking about here, guys?
No, 100%. Yeah, I think for me too, it's like people just want to just be right, and they want to die on whatever hill it is that they choose to die on. And I'm just like, dude, like, do you guys really understand what we're actually talking about here? Like, it's content. It's a movie with shows and like figures. Like, this does not determine your life, but these people are like butthurt. Yeah. They're so butthurt and just dying. And like, oh, you know, he was great during my childhood, this, and that, but they ruined Star Wars and ruined basically the rest of my life. I'm like, dude, like, calm down.
Dude, I'm not the biggest sequels fan, but also, like, I don't care if you're dude, if you love the sequels, I actually envy you, because there's 3 Star Wars films out there that I genuinely don't enjoy watching. And for you to enjoy that, I'm envious of you, because I wish I did, dude. Like, I will always say, like, for people like with this Rey movie that's going to come out, people are like, oh no, like, oh, the director, oh, Rey's back, the sequel. I don't care, dude. I'm going to wait till it comes out. If it's a bad movie, I'll be the first one to tell you I didn't like it. But maybe it'll be great. And even more so, maybe it will change my mind about the sequels. I hope the next Star Wars movie that comes out is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. Every time a Star Wars movie comes out, I am hoping it's my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. Mine's Return of the Jedi. Very high bar to clear for favorite movie of all time.
Agreed.
But yeah, dude, I hope it's fantastic. For wanting Star Wars to fail because you don't like something that's talked about before it comes out, it's like you're already setting yourself up to have a bad time, dude. Like, you're
100%.
shooting yourself in the foot.
100%. That's the biggest thing with expectations. You go into expectations, you go in with high expectations.
Yeah.
You're always going to get hurt. So what I do is I go in just open-minded. I try not to think about anything, because then I'm not expecting one thing or another. I'm just taking it as I'm getting it, and I'm making an on-point, decision on, do I like this at this moment? I'm not like, oh, you know what? That didn't come out the way I thought. Or, I saw this clip and I thought it was going to go this way and it should have gone this way and this whole thing. And then what does that do? I leave hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so what happens is expectations here where like the shittiness is here and it landed here, and like
Yeah.
what this is the gap of hurt, it's a gap of pain, and
Yeah.
that's all you're setting yourself up for. That's what that is,
The
so
gap of pain is my favorite wrestling move. But what you said is like the biggest thing there, where it's like you don't, if you have high expectations, like you're more likely to get hurt by it, because
100%.
not necessarily high expectations, but expectations that you will be upset if you don't see them met, which is an issue. But there's also a difference between like, oh, I'm not going to go with high expectations, I'm going to go in with low expectations, expecting this to be the worst movie of all time. That's no fun either. What you said is correct, of like, go in with an open mind of like, hey, I love Star Wars. It's got a Star Wars logo on it. Maybe I'll like it. Maybe I don't. Am I a fan of everything that Disney has done with Star Wars? No, but I'm a fan of a lot of it.
Yeah.
Book of Boba Fett. I have a Boba Fett tattoo on my leg. Not my favorite Star Wars show, but if they released a steelbook of it, dude, I'd buy it, mainly because of the Luke Skywalker episode. But
it's the best,
dude. I was crying like a baby. I'm a big Luke Skywalker head. Wait, this side. But yeah, I it's just more fun to have fun, dude.
That's it, dude. Like, that's what this is. This is fun. This is not meant to determine your life, where you're going, how you feel about something. This is not about your morals. This is not anything. This is so we could have something to enjoy, to distract us from normal life. I mean, obviously, our situation is a little bit different. We've kind of made this a thing for ourselves with, creating content.
Yeah.
But even still, the moment you start taking this way too seriously, you've gone way too far off the beaten path, and that's a problem.
And
that's
like,
a problem.
I take Star Wars. I take Star Wars as serious as anybody, but like, it's just being real and like understanding of like, hey, dude. When I saw The Last Jedi and I walked out of that movie, I was like, what? I was not hyped. But like, like the older I get, you want to talk about Luke Skywalker, of like understanding of like, you can grow with your opinions, and like, obviously, if you have a feeling, it's valid, but maybe don't act on it. So and talking about The Last Jedi, it's like, how many times and I don't like the fleeting shadow thing, but like, how many times have I had the fleeting shadow moment of like somebody commenting and like me wanting to like respond back and be like, and like, am I creating my own enemy by doing this? It's like, whoa, just don't ignite the lightsaber, Luke Skywalker. Just don't make that movie, Rian Johnson.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, there's so many times where I'm like, want to be quick to respond to something, and I'm just like, dude, I'll black out.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
And that's just not who I want to be. And I'm just being better than that. And so, but man, sometimes these comments will get under my skin. And I'm like, find me in the streets, son. Square up right now.
Dude, honestly, like, most of the time, opinions that are different than mine are what's most entertaining to me. Like, how many times do I want to sit and talk with somebody about what we both agree on the whole time? Like, that's kind of boring. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Darth Vader, Rey. Like, it's like, how many times can you really do that on the internet with Star Wars? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
God.
But it's also that thing of too, like, maybe somebody's going to comment something. Dude, there's been times where I've posted something and somebody will comment and I'll be like, man, dude, that's a valid take. Like, now I think differently about what you said and what I think because of what you said. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, it's what you said about having the open mind thing of like, and look, sometimes people say some goofy stuff. Goofy stuff. And sometimes you gotta respond back. Like, and I have fun with it too, man. It's all fun at the end of the day. And like, honestly, my favorite thing is when somebody comments like, oh, that's the worst take ever, blah, 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 blah. And I can comment back, and I'm not like telling them that they're wrong or arguing with them, but I can tell that I made them laugh a little bit. And they'll be like, I don't like your take, but that was funny. Like that's where
Yeah.
that's where I'm like, I won.
He's like,
You know what I mean? Yep. That's all I
hell
want.
yeah.
It's like I don't care if we agree on the same thing, but like just don't be a mean person, you dick.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, so many people want to be, I don't know. They just want to be right. Nobody wants to have a conversation anymore. Like, okay, like I didn't agree with that. Why do you
Yeah.
feel that way? Let's talk about it. No, they're just like, what does Drake say? Like something about Twitter fingers. Craziness.
Oh my gosh, dude, you're referencing Meek Mill beef from 2014. Jeez, who's a
Listen,
Philly
man.
guy over here?
Hey, listen.
That's
I'm
funny.
deep. I'm
That's
deep.
funny.
Speaking of, you talked about Ray and the sequels. I'm gonna share my screen here really quick. Share screen. Do I have it open? I must not have it open. I thought I had it open.
Dude, are those helmets up there on stands?
They are.
That's so sick. Did you get them on Amazon?
No, I actually got those at GameStop years ago.
The helmet stands?
The helmet stands. Yeah.
They were probably expensive.
No, they're probably like $20.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Want me to show you one?
Well, I mean, I don't want to make you get up and do it, but like,
It's not that far. It's just I got.
I'm
it.
not forcing you, but all I'm saying is like, you've got a better setup with the helmets than I do. Oh, that's dope.
So this is the helmet stand.
What was
It's
it originally sold for?
Helmets.
But like, not specifically Star Wars.
No,
They're just like,
it's called Modern Icons.
They're probably for like Master Chief helmets and stuff.
Yeah, probably. And then they had like, I found a few, and then I just started freaking ordering because at that time they were like on sale. And then what I did was I didn't have that many helmets at the time, but I was like, you know what? I'll take like 10 of them. And I just had like boxes of them. Just like I was speaking it into existence. And
That's
now
dope.
I don't have a stand available. All my helmets have stands, and I actually have more helmets than I have stands. So like my Scout, my Rex, my Mando, and I have a few others that I have boxed. I don't have a stand for them because it's crazy. I have
Damn.
about like 15 helmets. It's a lot of helmets.
I've only got 4, so I try not to go crazy on the helmets.
No. It's that's my thing. But you have a lot more of other things that I don't have.
I've got too much of other things, to be completely honest with you. I've got too much other things is really the issue.
Here it is. Share. All right. Can you see that? Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So why am I stuck?
This podcast is brought to you by United Healthcare, the Golden Rule Insurance Co. Benefit for nearly 3 years of health insurance. Stay covered for longer by TriTerm Medical.
All right. So this just came out yesterday, April 1st. And it's talking about Daisy Ridley, whether John Boyega could return to the Jedi, as a Jedi. What do you think? She's like, that's above my pay grade. I don't know if you read this article or not.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is, and she probably can't say one way or another. It's like MCU stuff of like, is Spider-Man gonna be in the next Avengers movie? And Tom Holland's like, I can't tell you, and that's basically the end of it.
Yeah.
But
What do you think about this?
I think that if they give John Boyega a check that's big enough, he'll probably say yes, and hopefully it's worth his time to do the project. I would love to see more of Finn. I would love to see Finn as a Jedi. I think that if he was in this next movie, he should be a Jedi. So far, the only time we've ever seen Finn hold a lightsaber is in the Lego Star Wars Christmas Vacation special that they released a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Which is insane. But like, I look, the idea of a stormtrooper turned Force sensitive turned Jedi leaving the First Order for that is one of the coolest ideas in Star Wars.
Yep.
I just kind of wish it was handled a little bit differently. And I think John Boyega felt the same way from what he talked about after the sequels. I would just love to see more of him, and I hope that his character is done right. Make Finn a Jedi immediately. I think that's like, if I had to make a list of like things to do in this Rey movie, seeing Finn as a Jedi and not as like a fumbling like a lightsaber. They have lightsabers now. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
just saying dumb comical stuff. I think like him actually going into the ideas of the Force and trying to learn and better himself during this time away from what we saw in Rise of Skywalker would be very cool to see.
I agree. And he's an actual Star Wars fan from what I've gathered,
Yeah.
which is dope. And I feel like from some of the things that I've seen in my research, his tune slowly has changed a little bit where he was like, absolutely not, to like, hey,
Yeah, they start adding a couple more zeros to every time they email him.
Right.
Like, he starts to be a little bit nicer about things that when he's eating hot wings and he's like, I actually didn't like The Last Jedi. Whatever. They put a big enough check. I mean, he's an actor. He's got to do it. And like, look, man, they're 1% of 1% of people get to be involved with Star Wars.
Yeah.
If you get to be involved with Star Wars, your face is on it, and they're giving you a stupid amount of money to be a part of it. Like, it's hard for a lot of people to pass up. And I get like the whole career thing of like, well, I don't want to just be known for Star Wars. And obviously Mark Hamill has done what he's done, and he became the Joker and like all of that. But you can look at somebody like Harrison Ford where it's completely different. So it's that thing of they got to play the game. So look, I would love to see him come back as a Jedi. I think he deserves that. I think the character deserves that. And honestly, I think the fans deserve that the most of like, yeah, Finn should be a Jedi and it should be damn cool.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. If he becomes a Jedi, if they bring John back, I think he should have some crazy dope dreadlocks. That'd be fire. And then his saber, what color saber you think? I'm going to say, I think he gets a green saber.
Yeah, green would be dope. Orange would be fire. Blue, obviously blue. I mean, Ray's got yellow. I don't think he should have yellow. I think green would probably be my top choice.
Yeah, I agree.
Have you ever? I'm sure you've seen that concept art that Uzuri art on Instagram has done of him.
No,
where he's standing like this and he's got the armor on. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Oh, pull it up.
I'll see if I can find it, and then I'll share my screen because like
perfect.
It's awesome.
That'd be dope. While you're doing that, I'm gonna check the chat. Alrighty, Rebel Scum, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. Seriously, Star Wars, what's up, brother? Stay tuned for next week, guys. We got special guest Chris from Seriously Star Wars. He will be on.
What's up, Chris? When are you going to have me back on to wipe the floor with the competition for Star Wars trivia?
We need a rematch. Mortis FM is a super underrated Star Wars channel / podcast. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, they make everybody else look real bad with their audio quality and their talks every time.
Yep. Batmando. What's up, brother? Welcome. Appreciate you coming. Blue Mamba. Carter. What's up, bro? Have you made any more stops to Bucky's? I know it's your spot.
Are you talking to Blue Mamba or are you talking to me?
Blue Mamba.
Okay, I was like, I've only been to Bucky's one time.
Tony with the super chat. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. He says, damn, who's that cute guy with the luscious hair? He said no comment.
I'll see you tomorrow, Tony. He's probably up right now. Honestly, Tony, you got a few hours till your live stream at 3 a.m. for Bad Batch, you crazy person.
That's crazy.
Dude,
I'm like, I got to be up at like 6 a.m. How you
catch me
guys?
in bed, bro.
For sure, skis. Let's see here. Tony also got the helmet stands from GameStop.
Of
Yeah,
course he
dude.
did. If there's
Yeah.
anything to be purchased, Tony's like, I also have that. God
Yeah,
damn.
the helmet stands are great. They float a little bit. I mean, they're dope. I can't wait because in my new spot, I'm one of the bedrooms I'm fully dedicating to a full studio.
I
Where
love that.
here I share this little corner with my wife because she uses the office on the other side. So I'm kind of like
Yeah.
tucked up in this corner. But no,
I
I'm
gotcha.
fully doing it. I'm gonna have sound panels on the roof, the whole nine. It's gonna be legit. So I'm pumped.
Okay, I found one of them, and I'm gonna. There's another one that's right here that It's on her Instagram. Can I share
Hey,
my?
Chris Forsna. Chris, he's at the WrestleMania headquarters. What's up? That's crazy.
Dude, this guy's wild. Hey, Chris, what's up, dude? That guy's
Love
a
you,
hoot.
brother. Go Birds.
Oh my gosh. So there's this one. This is the one that I was talking about first.
Let's see.
But there's another one that I think. Can you see it? There it is.
I added it to stage. There you go. Oh,
That's-
that's Z with the dreads.
Yeah,
Fire.
that's awesome with the long hair. But like the
Yeah.
robes like that, where it's like kind of High Republic, but it's also like a little
Yep.
more futuristic in terms of Star Wars. Like,
Yeah. A
I
little more
love
fitted.
that. Yeah, I dig that. Like Jedi Master version of like he's kind of got the Qui-Gon Jinn vibes, and then
Love it.
the this too, where this is my personal favorite. Where like if I had to see Finn in, I love the way he looks right there.
He kind of
With,
looks like
the-
Mando.
Yeah, with like the battle armor like that,
Mhm.
and like kind of the forager with it's like a cape, but also like kind of like a sash sort of deal, and he's got the green
Mhm.
lightsaber. Dude, I love this concept. Like, I would love to see this in a movie.
It looks dope. My favorite though is the last one.
The one right before it.
Yep. I think he
Yeah.
looks smooth in that.
Yeah.
He looks so smooth.
Yeah, there's a ton of concept art of him as a Jedi and what we'll hopefully see in that Rey movie. But yeah, dude, it's got to happen. I'd love to see it.
What is he talking about? Tony says April Fools, bro.
He
April
didn't
Fools
actually
on
get
what?
he didn't actually get the helmet stands from GameStop. That was April Fool.
You know, when you think you know a guy and you trust him, and then they just take your heart, rip it out of your chest, throw it on the floor, step on it, and spit on your face. That's how I feel about that, Tony. And it's April 2nd, so you're late.
He said no.
The article is April Fool's. Let's see here. Better not give him the Miles cut. No, he's got to have full on long dreads past the shoulders, crushing it. No purple saber, that's racist. Nobody was thinking. Okay, I thought it, but but here's the thing, though. Who else
Tony,
has
you're
a purple
canceled.
saber? Who else has a purple saber? Not in live action.
Cal Kestis, if you change it to that. Any of the Jedi and Lego Star Wars, if you go to the character build tubes,
Yeah.
and you put a purple lightsaber. How about that?
Yeah. Well, I know Revan has it, Tony, but it's not live action, or technically it's not even canon. Is Revan even canon? I mean, I know the books, but I don't even know anymore what's freaking canon anymore. Besides, like, isn't it just like shows and some of the games? Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he still is. Maybe not all of the occurrences, but him as a character, I think. Because wasn't Revan supposed to pop up in an episode of Clone Wars? Where like he goes like it was supposed to be Sith Revan.
I didn't.
He was
see
supposed
that.
to like pop up in an episode of Clone Wars. Ghosts of Mortis, yeah. The character was originally supposed to pop up in the 17th episode of the 3rd season. It's when they go to Anakin sees the Mortis gods, and there's like those giant I think there's concept art of it. I can find it.
But they
Yeah.
never did it though, right?
Yeah, but it didn't happen. So like that's the only thing I can think of. But the deleted scene is on YouTube where you can find it.
Really? Okay, I'll check it out. Have you read the Revan book?
Yeah. Yeah.
That book is lit. I love
Yeah.
that book.
I'm not the biggest Old Republic fan. Like while that stuff was coming out, it was cool, but I wasn't really too crazy into it. But I am like my knowledge of it. If there's a time of Star Wars where like my knowledge is not the best,
Yeah.
Old Republic, well, I guess High Republic now because I really don't know anything about what's going on in the High Republic.
Me neither. I
but,
know
like,
nothing.
Yeah, I started the comics a while ago, and I got through a good amount of them.
Okay.
Because they're all on the Marvel Unlimited app, which
Is it good? It's like $12, right, a month?
Dude, I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big comic book nerd, so and there's no local comic shops around here, so like,
dude, there was one 3 minutes from my house, and it was gorgeous, and they closed it. It was like real beautiful on the inside, the way they did it. Like the finishes were real nice. They had collectibles, they had the comics, they had books. Dude, and it was small, but like it was done right. That little lounge in the front.
Yeah.
And they closed it, man, and they became a the business is still in business, but not for that. Basically, now all they do is they do grading of comic books and like cards and stuff.
Yeah.
But they did away with the other thing. I was like, damn it. So when I went over there, I ended up buying a crap ton of books.
Yeah.
And a few comics. The comics that I read are really like Moon Knight. I've got a few Spider-Mans and stuff like that, but I'm a big Moon Knight fan.
Dude, that's sick.
I love
I'm
Moon
not
Knight.
I was never as big into Moon Knight as much as I was into like him popping up in other people's stories. Like him and like Daredevil or like him and Spider-Man and stuff like that.
Right.
I love the team up stuff with Moon Knight. Did you like the show?
Yeah, I love the show. I actually just watched it, the whole show again this weekend. Like
really,
Saturday and Sunday, just binged the whole joint while I was doing stuff.
I didn't mind it. I look for an MCU show. Is it my favorite? No, but it wasn't as bad as I think people make it out to be.
People think it's bad?
Dude, there are a ton of people who thought Moon Knight was bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not on that team.
Yeah. I mean, there's somebody on Twitter who thinks everything is bad, so.
Yeah. I loved it. His acting in there where he's switching between the personalities and stuff, dude. Like, dude, that amazing.
Oscar Isaac is an incredible actor.
Oh, dude. I hope they bring him back into Star Wars, and I hope he needs a new house so that he can come back.
I don't think he's doing any of that. He's too busy. He was too busy with that Dune check that he got.
Oh, dude, Dune's been crushing. Yeah. Tony just got off work, going to sleep soon. Yeah, go to sleep because you got to get up in like 2 hours.
Get up.
Crazy. I couldn't do that for the life of me.
No way.
He has Vader and Rex. Nice on the helmet stands now. Yeah, dude. This is the way. What else we got here? What else we got? Padawan Pops, welcome to the chat. He said 2 goats.
What's up, Will?
That, brother. Will was on the show recently, and we were able to chop it up and hang out. It was dope.
Will's great.
Oh, I love Will.
I've been lucky enough to talk to him on a few occasions on some lives. Will's a really good dude. I also messaged him at one point, and I was like, hey, if him and I ever started a podcast together, the Wills of the Force or like the Journal of the Wills is such a dope name.
Oh, yeah.
Or I'm like,
that's dope.
Man, that's so good. If you're both named Will, the Journal of the Wills.
Yeah. Oh, I've always wanted to find another somebody in Star Wars with a G because I wanted to call it like 2 G's in a pod.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah, 2 G's in a pod would be fire, but I don't know any other G's. Oh, God. Let's see here. What if Keanu shows up at the end of Acolyte Season 1, Matrix Reunion, and brings Revan into canon all in one? That would be interesting. Keanu as Revan. I can definitely see that.
Wouldn't he be dead by that point?
Well, it's 100 years before the prequels. We're gonna look this up.
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up. Revan remains on the light side with the Jedi and dies in the year 3638 BBY. If that's 100 years before Phantom Menace, that's like what, 130 BBY?
Mm-hmm.
So like he's dead. It would have to be like a hologram or something.
He been gone.
Yeah. Like a flashback maybe, but like he's not alive running around. Unless they retcon a bunch of stuff and they make Revan around during the time of the end of the High Republic, which like I'm sure a lot of people would not be happy about. Just pluck him from one generation of Star Wars into the next. That's like if they restarted the books and they were like, yeah, Han Solo was alive during the prequels. It's like,
yeah, let's not mess with that.
Yeah.
Let's not mess with that. Tony says I enjoyed the Moon Knight show. Oh, people hated Moon Knight.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. So for all the people who hated Moon Knight, they just signed on for a season 2, so they could suck it.
Really? I didn't see that.
I got my connections.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Hot take.
That's dope, though.
Mm-hmm. So season 2, in production. It's not recorded, but the paperwork's been signed. So it's happening.
And it's going to be a show?
It's going to be season 2.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it, man. Bring him back.
I love it.
He's like, him and Daredevil are the closest you get to like Batman in Marvel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, when they created Moon Knight, wasn't he the Batman for Moon Knight? Because you have because in the comics, he's rich.
Yeah.
He's not poor like he is in the show.
No, one of his personalities is a gazillionaire, isn't it?
Yeah. 100%.
Or no, the only personality you didn't see was the Jake
Lockley.
Jake Lockley. Yeah.
Well, you do see him on the last episode.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. I was like, oh, there he is. I was waiting for him all freaking show. And then I'm like, there he is. So if they can continue season 2, like where that one leaves off, woo, I'm about it.
Do you think that they're going to give him his own Moon Knight costume like the other two personalities have? Because in the comics, it's like they all kind of they obviously all wear the same Moon Knight costume,
right?
And for this one, they kind of the Mr. Knight, whatever it was.
Yeah, well, Mr. Knight in the comics has the suit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I know that, but I mean, like, it's originally it wasn't specifically for what's his name, right?
Right. No.
It was just like all three of them can use all of, like,
correct.
They all live in his body, but they're whatever personality it is that's active at the time is still wearing the same Moon Knight costume, as opposed to this where it's like, all like the two different personalities have their own Moon Knight costumes the whole time. You know what I mean?
Well, in the comics, there is like the hooded suit, and then there's also like the tuxedo suit.
Yeah.
But
that's what I mean. It was like if they differentiated both of those looks to like they gave one to each personality,
right?
And Jake Lockley pops up, would he like have his own Moon Knight costume?
So he would need 3 suits at that point.
Yeah.
You would need Mark Spector, you would need Stephen Grant, then you would need Jake Lockley.
Yep.
I wonder what that suit would look like.
That's what I mean. Is like, I wonder if they have to follow that pattern of like he gets a third Moon Knight suit, and that's how you differentiate who's Moon Knight at that time.
Yeah. Well, the regular Moon Knight that Mark Spector wears, like the quintessential Moon Knight suit.
Yeah.
That's when he's pretty like BA. So I would assume maybe Lockley would also wear that suit because it's dope. And it's just like his murder situation going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. No one's ever really gone. I'm assuming we're talking about Revan. Cool. All right. So How are you, dude? we went all the way off course.
Yeah, dude.
I
mean,
love it.
that was nuts.
Bad Batch just dropped their soundtrack. Are you a Star Wars music listener?
I love it, dude. Do you know who Ashton Sherrod is on Instagram?
I
right?
do. I
Dude,
do.
he's
I follow him.
so cool. Man, I wish I was as cool as that guy of like being able to break down like the notes of like this was used for Obi-Wan, but this was also, if you listen here, it's that in reverse, and you're like,
Yeah.
my mind is just blown whenever I'm watching any of those videos. There's times where I'll just be like, I'm gonna go watch Ashton videos, and I'll just rewatch. I'll just swipe through, and like instead of getting lost on TikTok, I'll just get lost on his Instagram. He's a wealth of knowledge for that, and I'm jealous of him because Sam Witwer follows him.
What?
Yeah, dude. Sam Witwer commented on one of my videos one time, so that's still like my.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's fire. Did you screenshot it?
Oh yeah, dude, it's pinned on the video.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's the coolest. It's one of the coolest things. I was jumping up and down. I was like, "Sam Witwer, he commented." My wife was like, "Shut up!
You don't understand.
You don't get it. He's Darth Maul."
What's your favorite Star Wars like song? Or it doesn't even have to be a specific song, but maybe from like a movie or like a series. So mine, I'll start while you think, is I actually love the Ahsoka series end credits.
Yeah, that's great.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. The violin is epic.
Yeah, the Kiners killed that, dude. They did so good.
Crushed it.
The Force theme that plays, it's called Yoda Lifts the X-Wing. That from episode 5, that's like specifically from when Yoda pulls the X-Wing out of the water on Dagobah. Yeah. Dude, that is such a... I love that. And also, like, I'm a sucker for Leia's theme, too. Like, I love that, too. When we got married, my wife and I walked down the aisle to like get down to the altar with the Force theme playing.
Did you really?
Yeah. So it was the Force theme, and then it morphed into Leia's theme, like right as I got up there, because Leia's theme is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
I love it. That's like when you think of Star Wars, and you're like, if I'm gonna hum Star Wars, it's probably like that, the Force theme. Obviously, everybody goes the dun 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 dun, like for the Empire, or like when I worked at Disney,
which I hate that one, by the way.
You hate the Empire theme,
dude? I'm
That's
like,
a hot
it's
take.
Hot take.
I love it. I'm here for it. I support you.
Like, I don't hate it in terms of like don't play it, but I'm just like
you hear.
Like, I don't know. It's just overplayed, and
it's
I'm
like
just
a
like
Geico commercial at this point, where it's just like always on.
I'm just like, dude. And so, like with the other ones, I feel like while I'm working, I could just have playing in the background and just kind of like relax and like just work and just like I don't know. I'll even drive to some of them.
Yeah,
but I'm not driving to dun dun dun. I'm just not doing it. I'm not.
There's a really dope mashup of the theme from the Batman with the Empire theme, like the Imperial March. It's so sick. Yeah, those would be. And then when I worked at Disney, I worked there at the college program the week that that Galaxy's Edge opened. Like I was there opening day.
No.
And I worked, technically it's transportation, but it's also like attraction. You know, the friendship boats between Epcot and Hollywood Studios?
Yeah.
Those boats, I drove those, and like how there's always one guy who's driving and one guy who's on the microphone, like talking to them. I would always be like, you drive.
Boat that's like to the right of like France.
Yeah, where Ratatouille is now.
Yep.
Yep. There's that's where the friendship boats are. And like you can either get on a boat there and then go into the World Showcase, like the water in the middle of Epcot, and like it's Morocco and Canada, Mexico, Mexico, dock,
the other side,
and Morocco. because there's only the 2 stops there, and then the bridge by China that you walk over. That's the bridge that opens up where like the boats go for like transportation help, and they go get fixed back there. But when I worked there, it was the day of, and I worked for like a stupid amount of hours. And I was there the day it opened, and we had to be there at 3 a.m. because people were in line.
Oh, no.
The boats were taking people from all of those hotels to like drop people off at Hollywood Studios so they could get in line. The line was insane. Just people were sleeping outside, like waiting to get in. But that whole day, like my shift ended at like noon, and then I left, and then I came back for like for the night shift. And that night there were people walking back from Galaxy's, because you can walk from Hollywood Studios to like the Boardwalk Hotel and the Swan and Dolphin that's over there. And that's not the Beach Club, the Beach Hotel. That's over there. And there was these kids, and they were like a group of 6 of them. They were with their parents, and it was late. They were walking back, but they all had lightsabers, and they had them on. So there's a big megaphone that you could switch to on the outside of the boat. And I did Duel of the Fates, like bum 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 bum, and they're like 8 or 10 years old. I was just out of college. It's my favorite memory at Disney. And the kids, they're listening, and they're jumping up and down, and then they start fighting each other with the lightsabers. Dude, and everybody in the boat is watching, like, yeah, let's go. They're all cheering. It was and I'm doing that outside. It was so much fun, dude.
Were you voicing it yourself, or were you playing it off your phone?
Was literally just doing that. Like I was doing, it's like a PA system where you're outside of the boat, where you're like,
I got a 499er.
Yeah, it's literally like that, but there's a switch to outside button. So I switched to outside, and I was just doing Duel of the Fates while they were fighting each other. It was awesome. My favorite memory of working at Disney.
I bet you though, like those kids are probably like 10 years old, you said, roughly?
Oh yeah, they were young, dude. They had just been there for Star Wars. Like, I remember those days. That was the best.
They probably will remember that moment forever.
Yeah. Like 6 of your buddies, you get to have a Star Wars duel at Disney World. Like, after going to a Star Wars land the whole day, you just get a new lightsaber, then you get to go back to the hotel, and like, dude, it was so much. I'm so like, being a Florida kid and like going to like Disney as much as I did, like the closest I got to a Star Wars land was Hollywood Studios, where they would do like Star Wars Weekend and stuff like that, which was so much fun. I loved Star Wars Weekend. Or like where they used to have the Andor base, where they would do like the Darth Vader and Stormtrooper dancing, and like the Jedi teaching, where a kid would come up and like pretend to use the Force and stuff. The lightsaber training. Dude, that was so much fun. But like now with Galaxy's Edge, that people like that kids can go to a full land for that stuff. It's so sick, dude.
Dude, I gotta go back. I haven't been in a few months. But I got the year pass, so I can go whenever. I actually have to be up there for work next week. So I think I'm bringing my wife, because the company's paying for like hotel and whatever. So I'm going to bring my wife. She's going to work from the hotel, and then we're just going to go and like have dinner in the park and stuff, which is dope.
I haven't been since before I started doing stuff for Diamondfigs.
Really?
Yeah. So like,
dude,
almost
let's
the
go.
Same amount of time that I've been doing this stuff, I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge.
Wow.
I know a bunch of people are going for May 4th.
But they're going to California.
Oh, what?
So Star Wars night is not, they don't do it here, unfortunately.
Yeah, but still people are going to go. Like all the Florida creators, I would assume. Sure. Like I think I heard that there's some people going, but like I doubt Tony's going to fly all the way to California for May 4th. Like he'll also probably be in a movie theater for that, so.
Yeah, I'm going to be bunkered up here in old Bell Tower Theater.
Are they showing it at the?
I'm pretty sure
they remodeled that on the inside, though, right?
They did, yeah. Or I might end up at like Gulf Coast Town Center.
Gosh, dude,
because we're like,
and they closed the movie theater at Coconut Point.
They did. That's gone. Yeah. Craziness. For those of you who don't know, we live like
this is super local talk now for everybody who's listening. People are gonna be like, Bell Tower Shops, Gulf Coast Town Center.
What is that?
Oh my gosh.
So since you've been creating, and like your page blew up, right? You've got a crazy amount of following with like 20-something thousand followers, on both pages.
Yeah.
You know, which is a crazy feat. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
What's like the coolest thing you've like that's happened to you since creating? Like, I know some people would be like, "Oh, like I was recognized here or whatever." Like, that's so cool. I don't know what's the
I
thing for
really
you.
don't go out much to be like recognized for stuff like that. I think it's
Yeah.
more like, I think it's more the look. I started doing this to like meet people to talk about Star Wars outside of me, like either just talking to my wall or my wife about it.
I
So,
was about to say that. Yeah.
so like the people I've met and like the friends that I now have because of being able to do all of like that people that I can talk about Star Wars on the internet and people listen and like look whether or not you agree with me, you still listen, and I appreciate you for listening and even taking the time. So, that I think that's the coolest thing. And I've met a ton of cool people. I mean, like, so
Yeah.
I love you, Ricky. And then not the ampersand, what is that called? Greater than Tony. If you had to make it like a math problem.
One of these things.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
Tony says, Evan and George are going.
Oh,
All right.
cool. That's dope.
Are they going to the one here in Orlando?
I thought they were going to the one in Orlando, but I don't know.
We'll find out. Oh, he said, "Yeah, I'm not flying to LA. That's dope."
Yeah, but this is also the guy who was like, maybe I'll fly to Utah to go meet Hayden and Rosario like the night before.
He's wild.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Tony.
Oh, they're going to Orlando.
Yeah.
God, I wish. All right, so we're gonna move in to the last section.
Cool.
Of the show. So I've got a few categories here with all different questions. We've got technology, we've got characters, the galaxy, the Force, and creatures. Each one has a specific question that I've picked out. Which one do you want to start with? So technology, characters, the galaxy, creatures, or the Force?
Whichever, man. I feel like I'm taking the SAT right now.
There's no right answer. It's all in like your opinion.
Good. I thought I was doing trivia. I was like, shit, I didn't study.
No right answer. It's just your opinion.
Okay.
All right. So we'll start with the Force.
Okay.
Which negative emotion would you struggle with the most if you were a Jedi Knight?
Which negative emotion?
And it doesn't have to be, you know, if you have like an offshoot answer, it doesn't have to be the exact same thing. Like for me, I'll start. I would say instead of like an emotional thing, the thing I would struggle with the most as a Jedi Knight is not being able to be married.
Okay.
That would be the thing for me that would like make or break it. Also for Anakin.
Yeah, but if Kanan didn't die, he would have married Hera.
True.
And Luke Skywalker was married to Mary Jade. That's Legends now, but what are you gonna do? Dude, I've never thought about that before.
Oh, I'm bringing the heavy hits here.
I like that question a lot, dude. Not as deep as I'd like to get on it because I actually like am thinking about that. But I procrastinate the hell out of stuff. So I would be the procrastinating Jedi, which would suck.
There's some stuff going over there, some dark forces. I'll get to it tomorrow.
Why aren't your robes ironed, Master Jedi? I haven't gone to it yet. It's on laundry day at the temple.
All right, next one. We're on creatures.
Okay.
Han Solo says about his Tauntaun, I thought they smelled bad on the outside. What do you think a Tauntaun smells like?
I used to work at a retirement home.
Oh, God.
And I worked in the kitchen as a busboy.
Okay.
And taking out the trash afterwards of like all of the eaten and leftover food in that dumpster. Probably that.
That's gross.
But Captain Solo, your Tauntaun will freeze out there. Then I'll see you in hell.
Technology.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a Mandalorian jetpack or a Jedi AA Aquata breather?
Probably a jetpack, only because I don't know
Agreed.
what's underwater.
Agreed.
And
So
I don't have the force to be able to like beast control whatever's under there. So me at the pier, like talking to sharks, I'm like, I'm just a really cool scuba diver at that point. At least a jetpack I can fly.
because you saw what Asajj did in the last episode. All of a sudden, this big beast just pops up out of nowhere, and you're just like, ah. Yeah, no, thank you.
We're 10 for 10 of episodes of Bad Batch where there's a giant monster.
So speaking of 10 for 10, before we get to the last two questions, so I started Wookie Whispers episode 1 with Tony, and we are doing episode 10 with you. I'm bookending.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
With Dark Side Secrets. And it's crazy
Dark
how
Side
it took
Secrets.
10 episodes to get a better episode than Tony.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Yeah, but definitely the jetpack because Florida water is crazy, as Will Padawan Pop says. Yeah, I ain't going in this water. No shot. All right, characters. Imagine that Finn trained as a Jedi. What color? Oh, what color do you think his lightsaber would be? We talked about.
I would love it to be green, but I also like whatever it is, as long as it's not yellow. I don't care. I would love an orange. I would love an orange saber.
Orange like Bayland, or like more orange?
More orange, orange, like the option that you can have for Cal in Survivor.
Yeah, that's like more of like a tangerine.
Yeah,
yeah,
I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. But then, is that like a little too close to Rey?
Nah,
it's like in the realm.
Nah, if it's like a brighter orange as opposed to like, look, as long as they edit it the right way and it looks like orange and doesn't look like yellow,
or like a deep orange.
Yeah, but like a deep orange could also like looks like Balin and Shin. So like, I'm thinking of like Cal Kestis, like pumpkin orange.
Pumpkin orange.
Like when you think of orange in your head, you're like, oh, that's orange. Like the color of his hair, orange.
Yeah, that's perfect. That'd be perfect. What is this?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
The galaxy. All right. If you could be fluent in one Star Wars species language, which one would it be and why? That's a hard one.
Real answer, Huddies. Funny answer, binary.
Binary?
Yeah, like to be able to talk to droids. Like, have you ever seen that deleted scene of Anakin from Revenge of the Sith where he's going beep boop beep beep boop boop, and he's talking to dude? That's so funny. But like to be able to speak droid would also be very funny.
Oh, that would be dope.
Yeah.
But
probably Huddies, because like you're talking like that's like street lingo in Star Wars, is like the underground and stuff like that. If you speak Huddies and you like know what that's going on, probably know what the deal is.
I would choose, I think it's called Shiri Wook.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's dope too.
Yeah. Shiri Wook.
The language of the Wookiee.
The language of the Wookiee.
I like that too. That's a good answer. Yeah. That's a good take.
Especially for Wookiee Whispers. I'm just in here.
Gotta stay on brand.
Gotta stay on brand. It's all about the marketing, baby. It's all about the marketing.
I was trying to think. I'm trying to think of other languages in Star Wars. Like, I would not want to speak. I would not want to have like the Gungan talk.
Oh no,
that's boring. I'm trying to think of other languages in Star Wars. I feel so dumb right now not knowing it.
I'm not super versed.
Like the Sith old tongue that they talk about. That would be dope.
But like be a Jedi, so it's almost like, I don't know if you're a Harry Potter fan, but it's like almost like you could speak like Postle tongue.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
But you're a Jedi and you could speak like the Sith language.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
Harry, did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Ha! I had a wand and I broke it. I'm upset about that.
I've never read the Harry Potter books because I don't want them to ruin the movies for me, because I like the movies and I feel like reading the books would be like, man, these movies suck. The books are so much better. And I like the movies the way they are, and I don't want them to be ruined.
I got lucky that when I read the Harry Potter books, well, one, I didn't finish them, but two, I read them so young that I don't know, when I watched the movies, I was so like in awe with like at that time the graphics and all that. Like it didn't bother me. And I don't know, as a kid when you're reading like those, like that thick of a book, I didn't remember half the stuff I read anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it didn't bother me at all.
I get that.
Yeah. So cool. Well, that was it, man. I appreciate you coming onto Wookie Whispers episode 10. It is an honor. I super appreciate it. We are way too close in proximity not to be like chilling, because you know who else is out here too, right? Kyberphonic.
Oh, I didn't know he was that close.
Oh yeah, dude. Kyberphonic lives like 10 minutes from me.
Dox him. Just give us a. What pharmacy does he go to?
CVS.
I'm kidding. That's a good answer. That's the number one answer.
Beep, 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 beep. Actually, he moved closer to you. Actually, he just moved recently. So he's not in Naples, but he moved about, you know, where like Estero is?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. He's like in between Fort Myers and Estero.
That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
I had no
He
idea.
was in Cape.
I didn't know he was that close. That's dope.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we chill. He's good people. That's my dog. Cool, man. Well, let everybody know where they can find you. I know that we talked about it in the beginning of the show, but let's bookend it. Where can they find you?
Diamondfigs everywhere. Just type it in. Probably
Just
there.
type it in.
You can follow if you want. If you don't, I still love you. It's fine. What are you gonna do?
That's it.
Don't be mean to people, you jerks.
Don't be mean. Positivity for Star Wars ASAP. Get it, do it, be there.
And thank you for having me. This is super fun. That was like an incredibly. It felt fast because we were having a blast. So appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk with you about something that we truly love, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I thank you for coming on and taking the time. I know we're super busy, so means the world to me. So same thing for me, guys. You can find me everywhere at I am Gianni V across all platforms. We love you, we thank you, and may the force be with you. One.